The transfer window for Europe's biggest clubs is closed, but you can click here to review all the deals. Transfer talk will continue to scour the world's media and set correspondents loose to see what's on the agenda from the summer. Top story: Man United consider move for Gueye. Manchester United have stepped up the pursuit of Portuguese duo João Felix and Bruno Fernandes, say the Evening Standard, which is all very well, but there's another player hidden inside the story who didn't make the headline but could be even more important if they do land him. That player is Everton's Idrissa Gueye, who is evidently being lined up to replace Ander Herrera when he departs this summer. Gueye almost joined PSG in January and has made it quite clear that he's keen to move on from Everton, while United are in need of a midfield presence after spending £52 million on Fred and not getting much of a return on that investment. While Gueye has the most tackles in the Premier League, 126, he will also showcase his talents for Senegal at the African Nations Cup this summer, so United better move fast unless they want his price to go even higher. Live blog 16.02 BST. Nicolas Otamendi could be set to leave Man City, as ESPN brought you the other day, but Atletico Madrid are already in talks with the defender's agent. Says Atletico have been linked with pretty much every defender in Europe, as they are losing Lucas Hernandez and Diego Godin this summer and need to sign some replacements. But Otamendi would certainly fit the bill. 15.25 BST. Manchester United have made a final contract offer to Juan Mata, hoping the midfielder will sign a one-year deal with the option of a second, say the men. Mata, 31, wanted a two-year deal, so maybe he'll be okay with that. If not, then someone is getting a bargain this summer. 14.47 BST. Roman Abramovich has no interest in selling Chelsea despite fresh speculation linking British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe with buying the club, a source has told ESPN FC in an interview with BBC Sport to promote his takeover and rebranding of cycling giants team Sky's Team Ineos. Ratcliffe referred to conversations he has had about buying Chelsea and added that you never say no when asked about the possibility of acquiring the club from Abramovich. Despite describing himself as a tortured Manchester United fan, Ratcliffe did inquire about Chelsea's availability in May 2018, but his approach was politely batted away before the discussion advanced to potential valuations. A source told ESPN FC that Abramovich has never spoken to Ratcliffe or any other interested party about selling Chelsea, and remains committed to the club he acquired for £140 million from Ken Bates in July 2003 and has since invested around £1.13 billion of his personal wealth into. 14.06 BST. Juventus coach Massimiliano Allegri has spoken about rumours linking Antonio Conte with a return to the club. Journalists rightly write and say what they feel like, it's always the same stuff, he told a news conference. People have been saying that I'm leaving, but I've been here for 5 years now. We have the advantage that we can plan and understand in which direction we will be going next year. 13.04 BST. Manchester United are going to overhaul the playing squad this summer, but Jesse Lingard has a dream, and that dream is to play with Cristiano Ronaldo. I would love to sign Ronaldo, he told the Daily Mirror. He has been one of the best players in the world over the last decade. He has been here before, so he would slot right back in. 12.17 BST. Never say never in football, but right back Aaron Wan-Bissaka has given Crystal Palace a boost by claiming he will stay at the club despite reported interest from Manchester United. The situation just shows that my performances don't go unnoticed, Wan-Bissaka told the Evening Standard. But I am with Crystal Palace at the moment. That is where my contract is and that is where I will be next season. I have got 3 years left on my contract. It says I am going to be there, so that is all I can focus on now. 11.43 BST. David Silva is interested in a move to J-League side Vissel Kobe, but Manchester City are hopeful he will stay at the club next season. Sources have told ESPN FC, Silva has a deal at City until 2020, but Vissel Kobe want to pair him with Andres Iniesta, who moved to the club in 2018. The midfielder moved to Manchester from Valencia in 2010 and has gone on to become one of City's greatest ever players, with the club eager to keep him for the 2019-20 campaign. J-League Kobe, who also have Silva's ex-Valencia teammate David Villa on the books, want the Manchester City star to galvanise the squad, who are languishing 12th in the table. Sources have told ESPN that Silva has yet to make a definitive decision on his future, but Manchester City believe the 34-year-old still has a part to play next term. 1.07 BST. Have you been wondering what former Huddersfield manager David Wagner has been up to since he left to take a break from management in January? No, us neither, but the Daily Mirror say that he has agreed to become Schalke's new boss this summer. Domenico Tedesco was sacked in March and Hub Stevens took over, but the club only just sitting outside the relegation spots in 15th place, so need a change. Enter Jurgen Klopp. 2.0.10.35 BST. Chelsea have unveiled their new home kit for the 2019-20 season, and, in the most polite phrasing possible, it's likely to split opinion. It's blue, no major surprise there, but it's also covered in a motif reminiscent of that which you'd see on the seats of the London bus that runs past Stamford Bridge. Eden Hazard has been charged with modelling the new shirt, along with teammates Cesar Azpilicueta and Ethan Ampadu, though there's a strong chance it might be enough to finally convince him to make the leap to Real Madrid. 10.17 BST. OK Diario's Eduardo Inda, via El Chiringuito, is reporting that PSG are interested in Real Madrid's Gareth Bale. It makes sense, given that Real don't seem to want him around anymore and are targeting a big spending spree this summer, but would Bale want to play second fiddle to Neymar and Kylian Mbappe? Or would he be better off finding somewhere where he can be the leading light again? 9:55 British Summer Time. Celtic have taken up their option to hand winger Scott Sinclair a one-year contract extension. Manager Neil Lennon told a news conference, "Scotty will be here for another year. He has returned a lot of goals for us this season yet again, and it's a big boost for the squad." 9:26 British Summer Time. This is a slightly odd one, but Gazzetta dello Sport report there could be a possible swap deal between Roma's Edin Dzeko and PSG's Edinson Cavani. The logic behind it being that Thomas Tuchel doesn't like Cavani and wants a decent backup striker, with all the focus to be placed firmly on Kylian Mbappe up front. Roma, for the part, need to reduce their wage bill and Cavani earns more than Dzeko, so this one seems like a non-starter. 8:50 British Summer Time. Barcelona target Luka Jovic as the hottest property in Europe at the moment, Eintracht Frankfurt's sporting director has told ESPN. Jovic, 21, will line up against Chelsea this evening in the first leg of their Europa League semi-final, and he does so having scored 25 goals in 43 games in all competitions so far this season. Sources have told ESPN that Barcelona have watched the Serbia international over 20 times but will face stern competition from Bayern Munich. And Frankfurt chief Freddy Bobic is not afraid to talk up the value of his star striker, telling ESPN's Raphael Honigstein, "He's definitely the hottest property in Europe at the moment, considering his age and position. There's no point in denying that, but we have a great relationship. He's really happy there, and he's very grateful. That's the truth. He has had the chance to mature as a man and as a pro here, to put in performances that can still get much better. There is chance he might stay for one more year. But if a really big club turns up, willing to put in a bid that reflects the player's value, it will be impossible to keep him because of the wages on offer. You can't stop a player from making such a big dream come true." Honigstein, mighty Eintracht, from minnows to Europa semi-finalists. 8 o'clock British Summer Time. Mesut Ozil has insisted that he has no plans to leave Arsenal this summer, despite being dropped several times this season and coming under fire from Gunners fans. The 30-year-old still has over 2 years remaining on his contract at the Emirates, and is the club's highest earner. It has been reported that, despite his return to the first-team fold after a spell being frozen out by coach Unai Emery, will look to sell Ozil in the summer in order to help finance an overhaul of the squad. Asked if he wants to stay, the former Real Madrid playmaker told Sky Sports, "Absolutely. I've got 2 more years on my contract. I don't know after that, but I've got 2 years left." Asked if he is happy, he said, "Yes. Why not? I'm 30 now, still got years in front of me. It's down to the club as well, of course, but I've got 2 years here. After that I don't know what happens." Play to 25 Man United's timeless defense. Paper talk by James Caps Parch to get chance to spend in summer. Tottenham manager Mauricio Pochettino will finally be expected to wheel and deal in the transfer market this summer, with the Telegraph claiming chairman Daniel Levy will not sanction more than 2 or 3 major signings. Spurs are expected to beat Everton to the signature of Barcelona midfielder André Gomes for around £30 million, despite the Portugal international spending the season on loan at the Toffees. Meanwhile, Pochettino is also keen on Nice fullback Youssef Attal, who would cost in the region of £34 million. The signing of an English player will also be on the North Londoners' agenda as they look to stay in line with the Premier League's strict homegrown quota rules. Fulham winger Ryan Sessegnon and Jack Grealish of Aston Villa are long-term targets, and are still believed to be on the Spurs shopping list. Juve jumped the queue in Rabiot race. Tuttosport claims PSG contract rebel Adrien Rabiot is the next free agent on the wish list of Juventus. The Frenchman has refused to sign a new deal at Les Parcs des Princes, meaning he has the pick of a number of top European clubs chasing his signature, but the Italian publication believes the Serie A champions are first in line for the 24-year-old, who they have attempted to sign several times in the past. The Bianconeri have begun the summer revamp early, having already tied down Arsenal midfielder Aaron Ramsey for a big-money deal, and Rabiot looks set to become the second free transfer of the summer as boss Massimiliano Allegri reshapes his midfield following a disappointing quarter-final exit in the Champions League. Luis set for Atletico exit U-turn. Atletico Madrid defender Felipe Luis could remain at the Wanda Metropolitano, despite months of speculation regarding the Brazilian's future in the Spanish capital. Marca claims talks between the club and the player's agent Jorge Mendes are to take place in a matter of days, with an agreement that will see the player stay at the club for another season now appearing the most likely outcome. The Brazilian will turn 34 before the start of the new La Liga season, and Atletico's policy of not offering players over 30 long-term deals had left Luis frustrated and on the verge of a switch to Paris Saint-Germain last year. But that move failed to materialize, and fellow fullback Lucas Hernandez's impending move to Bayern Munich means that the former Chelsea man can expect more regular minutes if he is to remain in Spain. Tap-ins. Former Real Madrid youngster Jesse Rodriguez's search for a new home is set to continue, with Marca claiming Real Betis will not be taking up the option to sign the 26-year-old on a permanent basis. The Spaniard's latest loan spell is his third in as many years, after signing for PSG in 2016. Stoke midfielder Charlie Adam has confirmed he will leave Stoke City this summer after 7 years at the club, reports the Daily Mail. Fellow midfielder Darren Fletcher will also be departing Staffordshire, along with goalkeeper Jakob Haugaard.